listeners. This is Three Guys, One Brain. This is the podcast where we talk about random stuff and pretend like we're way smarter than our wives think we are. My name is Jason.
My name is Leroy, and my wife.
And I'm Royal.
And we are the Three Guys. The One Brain, collectively, we'll figure out together.
So,
Zombies.
Yeah, zombies. So, if zombies came to Twin Falls, what would your guys' plans be? What would you do, Jason?
I would leave Twin Falls. I would get the fuck out of here. No, I mean, this is a conversation that, has kind of been going around for quite a while now. And, I would want to disappear into the mountains and find myself a nice little fortified space, build up some fences, and protect me and my family.
Awesome. I honestly think I would destroy the bridges and then shove all the zombies right into the canyon, barricade the back side of us in Nevada area, and then that side would be protected, and we'd have Twin Falls just to ourselves. I don't know if that would work or not. There would still be something.
I'm pretty sure the U.S. government might have a little something to say about it.
But it would be, because we got that big canyon, they'd have to crawl down into that and come up unless they were like the zombies from World War Z.
Yeah, the World War Z zombies would
climb up that shit, and stuff. So we'd have people going guard.
So we're going with mindless zombies. Just
Well, you know what? It could be any kind of zombie.
If it's mindless zombies, to be dead honest with you, I don't understand why people made such a big fuss about it in all the movies. They move really slow, and they're not very smart. I think if they were mindless zombies, I'd kind of just continue on with life as normal.
I have to agree there.
I'd be like, oh, look, there's a zombie. I'm going to walk the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not going to run around wearing tank tops. I mean, people bite, zombies bite, and now you're a zombie.
That's right.
Why would you wear a tank top?
Yeah, you're right.
You could wear a leather coat.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are, you ain't biting through a leather coat. You got people teeth.
You're right.
You got people teeth.
That is a good point, and I'm surprised that no one has ever made it out loud.
You know what?
Well, here it is, folks. You learned it here first.
Wait them out, because they would just rot, and then they can't. They need the muscles and stuff to move.
I mean, they always just bust the teeth out, and then what? Now what?
Yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I was never very scared of zombies until the World War Z movie came out.
And so they were rabid zombies, right? They were kind of like rabid people.
Maybe.
You'd think more like a feral people than a zombie, because they had intellect, right? Mm-hmm. They can get out, they can run.
Yeah. Unless they were like the ones in I Am Legend. They kind of had like...
they had like a hive mind kind of thing. And they were like...
Yeah. So...
In which case, I'd just go find Will Smith and hang out with him.
Will Smith dealt with them before.
Well, that's the thing about that, though. That guy survived how long in zombie-infested, like, New York or whatever it was?
By himself.
By himself. For months. For years, or however long.
Yeah.
Him and his dog. And then the chick showed up and he dies.
Right. I mean, that's life, though, right? The chick. I hope my wife doesn't see it.
That's kind of what happened. And nothing against the chick. It's just, how do you survive that long by yourself? And then when there's just one other person introduced, now there's a problem.
Well, people are liabilities. When you care about people, you don't want them to die, so you do your best to protect them. But those people do stupid stuff, and then you have to put yourself into unnecessary harm, and next thing you know, you're dead, like Will Smith.
Dead Will.
Yeah, poor Willie.
Whatever happened to the chick, though?
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Wasn't she supposed to, bring his blood back somewhere?
Yeah, she was taken to the base, I think.
Yeah.
But I did see some deleted scenes, though. Will Smith actually survived that part.
Oh.
And the zombie thing that was trying to break through, tried to save his wife or whatever. Will Smith calmed him down and said look, and in that deleted scene, that guy calms down and he injects that other guy too, and then him and his wife get back together. It was really cool. I was like, wow.
So this is my thing, right? kind of get off on a different subject here, but
Yeah.
Whatever.
what's up with the deleted scenes in movies, making a movie something completely different than the movie that you originally watched was? I mean, like what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why have like
Oh, guess what? Will Smith actually lived. Yeah, it changes the ending completely. Yeah,
No, that sucked. Let's just take that part out.
yeah. And I thought it actually made the story better. I mean, for me,
yeah,
because
so
I was
why-
just like, yeah, you know, I was like, why didn't they just
leave it that way?
leave it? You know, it's that way you see that he survived. He did find the cure. He saved that guy's wife because that monster was after his wife because Will Smith took her, you know, to do tests on him. I mean, or on her, and that's all that other dude was after his girlfriend or wife or whatever that girl was to him.
Right.
And then once he showed him, like calmed him down, he showed her that she was stabilizing, injected that guy, and then that guy like calmed down the other ones, and then they all started getting injected, and they all started becoming cured.
You sure this isn't some sort of Mandela effect thing?
No, they're not.
I know, I swear.
Maybe. Yeah.
Sinbad was a genie.
You know what? I actually dreamt it. Sorry, guys.
No, that's interesting. That's super interesting.
So, Royal, what would you do in the zombie apocalypse?
It's more tough question for me than you guys gave your answers.
What?
Because I feel that like, okay, so you block off the bridge and you block off Nevada but you still have the entirety of Twin Falls, okay? So anybody that happened to be in Sportsman's Warehouse,
Okay.
right? They're set up. They've got guns and bullets. You can't just walk down there.
Well, they need a combination. Well, I guess. Don't they lock up that shit?
Well, yeah, but okay, so if it happened in the middle of the night when the place was closed.
Right.
But like if it happened in the middle of the day, so it'd be kind of tough because, like you said, run off in the mountain. I think our biggest problem in the beginning would be other people, for the most part.
Oh.
Which is part of the reason why I said
Get
first thing
out.
I'm doing is getting out.
Yeah. So it's a good idea to get out. I have some weapons to help me along the way, but not as much as. So you don't want to like be in this big city area. This isn't even a big city. You don't want to be in this area because there are going to be a group of people that have all the guns.
Right. It's a population center.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I would have to get away and protect my own. You know, obviously you would be like, I got to get to my loved ones first and find out. But I would probably be like, you know, my father-in-law, I'd have to get over there. You know, I would assume that you guys were able to take care of yourselves enough that I wouldn't have to be like Leroy's, you know. I mean, realistically, that's what I would do is I would try to get my loved ones that I didn't think might be able to get themselves out. I would get them to a safe place. Eventually, eventually you would have to try to reconnect and get the group going, but realistically, there's just some, you know, form of like, it's a panic. You got to save people. You got to get people out.
Okay.
But the whole time I'd be like, I mean, obviously I would have to defend while I'm leaving. So
yeah.
it would be a thing where like I grab whatever. I mean, I've got guns, I've got some machetes, I've got stuff like that. I need to get that stuff and then out.
And I totally feel like that's something that I would do too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, part of my plan, you know, my plan doesn't really work if I just say, you know, me, my wife, and my daughter. I mean, that pretty much, no offense to her, but that leaves me to protect everything, you know. So, you know, it would be about finding a unit of people, and fortunately for you, you're in that unit. You know, if Leroy happened to be around at the time,
I'd be like, Jason,
take you
Roy.
with us. You know,
Dude.
Otherwise, like,
I mean,
a
I'm
safe place. I would
driving-
be like, if you can find the GPS location of this phone signal, then you can feel free to
Realistically,
meet me
you're
here.
on the way to my father-in-law's. So if you just ran out to the intersection, I might pick you up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, I'm pretty sure if I seen you,
Thank you, Roy.
I'd be like, get in the car.
Yeah.
Get in
But-
the car.
Yeah, I mean, and then of course you've heard my whole leather, you know.
Sure.
Wear some leather. I've got a leather coat. I don't have leather pants. Sorry, ladies. But I have a leather coat, and that's coming with me.
Nice. Right on. Well, I think that's really good.
And that's plan.
That's my take. Yeah, I want to change the subject again.
Yep,
You guys
let's
went
go
off.
for it.
You said I dreamt it or whatever, and then I thought the other day I had a dream that I sold. What's his name? Jason Statham. I sold him a Sega Genesis Master System for $1,600, and then he found out that it wasn't worth that much, and he came after me with a gun. And
That's a bad spot to be in.
Yeah.
so he locks me in this room with my PlayStation. He's all, you know how much blah 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 this is worth, and I was like, what did I sell it to you for, like $800? And he's like, $1,600, and he's got a gun to my head, and I was like, whoa! I was like, I'm sorry, I've only got like $500. I'll give you like $500, and he's like, and he cocks it, and he makes me sit down in a chair, and he goes over and he sets the gun down, and he grabs some fucking handcuffs, and then he handcuffs himself to the chair on accident. So I'm like, what the heck? And I walk over and I grab the gun, and then I unload it or whatever, uncock it, take it out of the thing. And I'm like, that was dumb, dude. And I walk out the door. The door locks from the inside, so he can clearly get out, but I lock it anyway. And then I forget something in the room, so I can't get in because I locked the door. And he's yelling at me from inside, so I go out on this balcony and I climb out on the roof, and it's like 50 feet down to the next roof of like a church. And it's got like ceramic tile. So I go to jump off the roof to land on the other roof, and then I can slide down and get to the next level and then drop onto the ground. And I wake up halfway through the fall like you do. You know, you never actually hit the ground in your dream. So I'm like, and then I woke up. What the fuck? Why was I dreaming about Jason Statham? And why did I survive?
That's the $1 million question.
And why did I survive, Jason?
If you watch this, Jason Statham in the future,
Yeah.
that is a funny story. That's awesome.
And you know what I really want to know is, did you get your money back?
Yeah, did he?
And also, why didn't you just ask him to open the door?
Because he was handcuffed to the chair. Why did he handcuff himself to the chair?
But
How do you accidentally handcuff yourself to a chair and leave your gun behind?
that is.
I don't even own a
pretty
Sega Genesis Masters. Oh, I might.
I'm sure you do, and if not, we should pick you one up.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm a collector of consoles.
yes. They do have a retro gaming store on Main Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could go buy like whatever. I want to see if they have a Neo Geo Pocket
Yeah.
color.
You want to play SNK versus Capcom, right?
Yes, exactly. That's the game.
Neo Geo.
I'm a good friend. I remember.
He remembers this.
My favorite thing. So I had a Neo Geo way back in the day when it was totally not cool to own a Neo Geo, and I traded it for a Super Nintendo, I believe, which I thought was super cool because nobody else had a Neo Geo. And Bonk's Adventure was one of the best games ever. One of the best platform runner games, in my
Nice.
opinion.
Bonk's Adventure.
Bonk's Adventure.
Yeah, I don't think I've tried that.
Was
game.
that a caveman kind of guy?
It was a
I
caveman
think
kind of
I
guy.
remember.
Oh,
And
nice.
that was Neo Geo's platform game. It was their Mario Brothers. It was great. Good game.
1 point for Royal. Who
Um,
remembers that game?
And you know, for the general public's knowledge, Royal is a connoisseur of video games and classic game systems, and
Yep.
knows definitely more than me and more than most people I know. So
More than me, too.
I don't know about giving him a point for that because
Well, 'cause
that'd be like.
I think we should give him a point. For
I see what you're saying. I see what you're going with that.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, like I'm a chef, for instance, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I deserve a point if I'm like, I know
let's
what
give a point to
consommé
Jason
is, you know?
Jason gets a point for being a chef.
Chef,
You know
yes.
what? In today's world, we all can apply.
Yes, I got a point
Ooh!
too. Nice. Well, that's awesome, guys.
Yeah.
You know.
It works.
Heck yeah. Next topic.
All right, so
let's continue.
what about? So we just kind of hit on this real quick, and then
Okay.
we decided to move on. But I mean, it's still a different subject all in of itself. What about this? Everybody gets a prize these days. I mean, you know, used to when I was a kid, which was, you know, growing up in the '80s, you know, you were either a winner or you were a loser. And there was the whole thing of there is no second place. You're either a winner or you're a loser. And nowadays, the loser gets the biggest prize. And I think that that's probably part of what's wrong with our society.
They do find I have found a couple of different contests or whatever you want to call them where the last place person gets an awesome prize. But they don't know that they're getting an awesome prize until they've decided that they're the last person. They don't announce that. And then all of a sudden it's a big surprise, like, oh, wow. And everyone's like, oh, how good. It's like a charity mentality.
Yeah, sure. I think you guys are right because, and then they don't push themselves as hard to achieve the next. They want to be that. I want to get that next. Or like say, for example, anything. I guess like maybe selling cookies or whatever at work.
Right.
Or not at work when you're in school and stuff like that. I always wanted to be the kid that had like the most, things to sell at school, and be the one that got the prize. I never got the prize because I never sold. I had like two people, my parent and her boyfriend. My mom and her boyfriend would buy something, and then the other guy like sold all this kind of stuff, and then they got all these cool things and everything.
Right.
I think it builds character. I think it does.
Well, I mean, talking about building character from the same perspective, like I'm a little guy, right? I'm 5'4". Growing up, the land of giants, you know what I mean? And I grew up in a really bad neighborhood, so walking down to the store, going to the local comic book store, walking to and from school, was all walking through the land of giants. I used to say that a lot when I was a kid, but I had to learn to take up for myself. Regardless of my size and my stature, I still had to hold my own when it was, robot fighting time. And had I not had to actually go through all that, I definitely don't think I would have turned out to be the person that I am today. There's something to be said for, for instance, when I go to work and I need something off the top shelf, I don't just go, oh, well, I guess I can't do that part of my job because I'm too short. I go and I find a fucking milk crate and I use that milk crate to climb on top of the counter, and then from the top of that counter, I can reach the top shelf.
You're going to make me say it, aren't you? You keep talking about this topic, you're going to make me say it.
Say what?
Yeah, you got to hand it to short people.
Yeah. Also,
they can't reach it.
One of the things I like to do to tall people in my world,
there you go.
whenever they like to crack a little short person joke, which I've heard 1,000 cajillion times. 38 years old. If I hear a new one, by the way, kudos. I don't happen often.
Great. That's all the comments.
But so I have this thing where a tall person cracks a short joke, and I'm like, for the rest of the day, they're grabbing me everything I need off of the top shelf. I'm like, hey, tall guy, do me a favor? Could you grab that for me? Thanks.
Thank you.
I wait for him to get 10 feet away, and then I'm like, hey, tall guy. Sorry, this isn't the one I needed. It's the one next to it, yeah.
And I'm the guy that would just look you dead in the eyes and say, as you wish. Every time. Fetch me that picture, tall boy.
Well, that would take all the fun out.
That's awesome. Yeah, like, I mean, like, kind of like in the same boat as you, Jason. Like, I mean, I'm a pretty small guy now. Imagine me back then.
You shrink?
Yeah.
Were you 1'6'7"?
I was, and then I drank a lot of coffee, and it made me short.
Yeah.
As it does.
Yeah. So I should have stayed away from the coffee. Oh man. But yeah, like I remember. I think at Sugar Factory, Paul, he would have a lot of people. I never said it to anybody, but he would be like, short people would come up to him and be like, hey, how's the weather up there? He'd spit on them.
It's raining.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
It's raining.
What a good comeback,
Don't be a smartass.
Yeah.
So how's it feel to be average?
It's pretty normal. I mean, I can reach things. Nobody says jokes.
Oh, there are plenty of jokes.
No. There's no height jokes.
Right. But those dreams about Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Plenty of jokes to be had about that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he was trying to kill me, and I did screw him out of $1,600.
Yeah.
Because the Sega Master System's worth like $20.
Right. Well, But in hindsight, that's what you told us.
All I could think is like, what a jackass. Fucking, he's like, I'm gonna put the handcuffs on you. Oops, they're on me. I'm like, God. And I can't move this chair either because it's glued to the ground, I guess.
My size of person usually gets the, okay, he's strong, come lift this thing.
Right.
And I don't understand that because I'm like, I'm not like, you know what I mean? But my size gets the whole, you know, every time they need somebody with a little bit of muscle, or if the guy's, he may not necessarily be weak, he's just old and he doesn't really give a shit anymore, so he's like, you lift it, you know? And then but they treat it like, and they try to make it seem like they're doing you a favor. They're like, I worked as a CNA for years, and they were just, that was constant. I mean, nothing against women, again, nothing against, but it was a constant, I need your help specifically because you're big and strong. And I was like, you could probably kick my ass, you know.
I wouldn't admit that to Becky.
Becky's big. He drives a Mustang. Like, we had this conversation.
Yeah, who's Becky, if you don't mind?
No, Becky's just Becky's Becky.
Oh, Becky.
Anytime.
Becky.
Yeah.
Oh, Becky.
Right.
Okay.
Backyard Becky.
Becky.
Barbecue Becky.
Sure. Well, I don't know where those references are coming from, but I just use Becky as a general term. I don't know a Becky,
Right.
so
No, I'm saying. So there was the whole thing with the crazy white lady who called the cops on black people that were having barbecue.
Is that Becky?
That's Barbecue Becky.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, she could kick my ass.
Yeah. I mean, you know, she did look tough with those sunglasses.
With the glasses on.
I'm just saying.
Had no idea.
And with that, thank you guys for listening today. This has been Three Guys, One Brain
Yep.
with Jason.
Leroy.
Royal.
And until next time.